is literally a hard question for me because Kyler Murray was tied to the hip of Cliff Kingsbury in these situations, right? And you think about the system in the air raid. Now you bring in a defensive-minded coach in Gannon who came over from the Philadelphia Eagles who won the division last year. I just had to take that shot at you real quick, Skip.
Yeah.
But when you look at the Kyler Murray situation, money is tied to this decision. Okay, he accounts dead money, cap money, just this year alone, $97.5 million. And as we always say, Michael, follow the money, right? You just follow the money. In 2024, $81.5 million. In 2025, that's the first time you probably at $33 million could start to say, well, we might, if it doesn't work out, can move on from him because that number is much lower from a dead cap standpoint. Now, they're not going anywhere this year. I am not in a rush as a head coach, as a president of a team, a general manager, and an owner to put him back on the field no matter how itchy he is at getting on the field. The money's spent already, right, Mike? It's already done. So why put him out there in a situation where you're sitting at 1-5, your only win is against the Dallas Cowboys, who you rushed for 222 yards on? So why even put him out there? You just sit tight, let him continue to rehab, continue to get healthy despite him wanting to be on the field. It does nothing for you but risk the opportunity of him getting hurt again in a situation that is going nowhere. So if I'm Coach Gannon, he's my guy who's just going to be rehabbing the rest of the season because the season is pretty much lost.
Yeah. Key, you know, it's interesting, and I thought about it when you said it, him being a defensive coach. And you know defensive coaches, they want quarterbacks. They just don't turn the ball over, don't make any mistakes. And Kyler Murray can be a great asset, especially with his ability to run, if when you have a defensive-minded coach. But listen, when I see this situation, I hearken back to all the other things that you heard before, you know. So Kyler Murray now has had time away from football. Let's also remember all the stuff people were saying and what was coming out of the locker room about Kyler and leadership. They put in the contract to make sure you study. The one thing I do know, Skip and Key, when you go through an ACL, you go through an ACL and you're that close and you're thinking to yourself, I may never play this game I love again. It changes you. It changes you. It makes you, now I guarantee you Kyler Murray is thinking, man, I'm never going to take for granted even practice. Even practice. I'm never going to take for granted these moments I get to study this game and be the best at it, because I will remember waking up from that ACL and the doctor told me, he said, lift your leg, and I couldn't even lift my leg. I wish somebody would have told me I wasn't going to be able to lift my leg, because when you come out of it and you see that kind of thing, you get devastated. I went into a serious depression because I thought, oh my God, I just got here. If I just got my family out the ghetto and I can't lift my leg, how am I ever going to play football? So I know he went through something, and I know he's going to love the game when he gets back on the field. I think it's smart to try to get him on the field right now, whatever you're going to do with him. If you're going to keep him, you need to put him in this offense and get him the rest of this season as many reps as he can in this offense. If you're going to do anything else with him, you need to put him on the field to let the other people see him back to being healthy and playing football. I think it's a positive sign that Kyler Murray is on the field, and I think he'll be a different guy when he gets back.
So, Keyshawn, I think you were concluding they should be done with Kyler Murray.
No, what I'm saying is this year, and they should be done with it. Now, if Coach Gannon makes a decision in the offseason to insert him into the offense and tailor the offense around him, then we're having a different conversation. If you think about it, when new head coaches come in and they didn't draft a guy and they didn't sign off on that guy, they tend to want to move in a different direction. The problem is you got about $200 million of dead money before they actually could think about moving on from him. So he's got at least 2.5 years to showcase that he can fit in any system at any given time and show he still has that Oklahoma Rookie of the Year type skill set.
Okay, I still believe.
They need to find
Michael.
out.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying they need to find out how he fits in this system and what he has. That's the whole reason they made the change.
But I wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't do that right now. We're 1-5. We're 1-5. Why would I do it now?
Because he's your franchise quarterback, and you have invested heavily, and you need to get him back on track. And I loved Michael's point, because to go through the potential depression or revelation that you might have of that 310 days away from the game that we thought you loved, but you started to show us that you liked video games more than playing real live football, because that's what all I heard from that side. Everybody said he's addicted to video games.
I played against him. I played against him in the Madden tournament in 2020, and I don't even play Madden. And he was serious as they come.
And he wiped you out.
Oh, yeah,
no contest.
Relax.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't play. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, but the point is, he really knows what he's doing with the video games, which is why he wound up with what Michael referred to, a homework clause that got made public. And I assume he signed off on it. It became part of the deal, so it's going to get reported on. And it damaged his reputation probably all the way around.
They eventually took it out of his deal, though.
But again, it got publicized because it was out there for all to see. And it did maybe some permanent damage to his reputation around the league. All I know is in 2020 and 2021, he did make the Pro Bowl. I know you shoot it down and poo-poo it and say everybody makes the Pro Bowl, but he did do that.
He won Rookie of the Year.
He was.
When he was healthy, at times, he became a problem for defenses in that system. The problem with that system that Cliff Kingsbury was running, it's not for the long haul. That's why people don't run it in the National Football League.
And it's a fair point that you made that Cliff wanted body and soul Kyler Murray because he had recruited him back in the early days when he was at Texas Tech. It didn't work out. But the point was he finally landed Kyler Murray, and it fell all apart. And it got to the point where Kyler's yelling at him out on the field during timeouts. We saw some ugly-looking video. It was a mess. But 2021, if you look at the numbers, he was 7th in QBR in the league, and he was 7th in Pro Football Focus grade in the league. That's top 10. So he had a top 10 quarterback year, and he doesn't have just quickness. He's got video game quickness. As long as he's not addicted to playing video games.
But what you got to understand, though, Skip and Michael, is that I'm not saying he can't play. What I am simply saying is you have a defensive-minded coach. Then you said it, Michael. He just wants a quarterback to just kind of not turn the ball over and manage some things. Kyler Murray has to get underneath the center in this system. It's not all shotgun 99.9% of the time. So he's got a lot to learn. Why rush him back right now when you're not going anywhere? Next offseason.
You just said, Key, you just said they're stuck with him. So what are you talking about? He needs to get the reps. This is a new system. He needs to get in here and start learning so they can maximize
He can learn and practice at OTAs and then later on in training camp. I don't want to set him back with an injury, nor do I want to get him injured for the future. That's just the way that my mind thinks in this situation. And I could be wrong.
I think them not starting this season off and is them saying we're taking it slow with you. And we're coming around now in week 7, and that's them saying we're taking it slow with you. But it's getting that time now where you have to get them on the field. You ask why? But because right now, teams are outscoring them in the fourth quarter like 65-7.
They're 1-5, Michael.
Key, I understand what you're saying, but that don't mean you give up on a football season. That don't mean you start saying, okay, it's okay to lose football games.
You're
still trying to win football games.
Your only win was against the Dallas Cowboys. You're 1-5. Don't put my franchise quarterback on the field in week 10 because he's not going to play this week. So you figure he's probably getting back on the field week 10.
Another week or 2. They said another 2 weeks.
Okay, so another 2 weeks. That's week 9. What's the point?
Keyshawn, I think you just don't believe in little quarterbacks, right?
Or little co-host. Which one?
Little co-host? The one who's in better shape than you are? That guy? Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
So I did not say a little smaller quarterback's not my favorite, but
no, but he is stout. He is put together.
He's on the smaller side of the quarterback position.
Yeah, I got it. All right, up next, we got to talk Dolphins at Eagles. Mike McDaniel erupted yesterday. What was that about? Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.